What's good, y'all? Welcome to my channel. I'm going to be reviewing Spider-Man Far Away From Home today. Went last night to go see it at a midnight screening. Got home about 2:30 in the morning, something like that. So it's directed by Jon Watts, stars Tom Holland, that's Peter Parker and Spider-Man, stars Jake Gyllenhaal, Samuel L. Jackson, and there's some others we'll get into as well. But this movie, it's a indirect sequel to Spider-Man Homecoming. And I say indirect because we had Homecoming, well, we had Civil War. That was our first introduction into this version of Spider-Man and Peter Parker. Then we had Homecoming, and then we had Infinity War and Endgame, which were extremely heavy. So, and then this movie's coming after that. Now, if you haven't seen Endgame, you don't want to see this movie. There's a major spoiler right in the beginning, but I assume 99% of people that are going to go see this have seen Endgame, so no big deal. Anyway, so this is a spoiler-free review, and going forward, please let me know if you prefer spoiler-free, spoiler reviews, both, which one or the other. I'll be honest, doing a spoiler-free review is a little bit harder because I want to go into a lot of the details, but I'm not going to. I'm going to keep it pretty basic and just go over some things I liked, some things I didn't like about the movie. So it takes place mostly in Europe. Peter Parker is in the honor society at his school with MJ, Flash, his best friend Ned, and they're going over to Europe. They're hitting a lot of the major cities. Now, the villain in the movie takes hold of the elements and gets its energy from that. So, for example, they go to Venice, water gets involved. I forget where the fire came in. I think that was when they were in Prague. They also go to London. Spider-Man is in Netherlands briefly, but it's shot beautifully in all those cities. I've been to Italy once myself, never Venice, but it was shot beautifully across the board. All the characters in this movie are great. Now, so the one thing you want to keep in mind when watching this movie is don't trust everything you see. Look beyond the surface. Like I said, I don't want to spoil anything, but that's what I will tell you while you're watching this movie. Just keep in mind characters' body language, what they're doing. Not everybody is to be trusted. And I'm somebody who questions things on the regular, right or wrong or indifferent. So that's why this movie was right up my alley. It's about questioning what you see, questioning the official story. Even the big guys like Nick Fury, who plays a big role in this movie, a bigger role than he's played more recently. But it's just like just looking beyond the surface. Things aren't always what they seem. So when Peter is going to Europe, he's not going there with the intention of being Spider-Man. He's not going there because he's on a mission. He's been bombarded ever since Endgame ended, everything that happened. He survived. Spoiler alert, there's another movie. He's been bombarded. He's been doing publicity, and he's a teenager. He's not ready for this stuff. He doesn't like all that. So he's looking forward to this trip as just a time to get away. He doesn't even want to take his spider suit. Aunt May sneaks it in anyway, as you do. Whatever. So you know that you know he wasn't going to go to Europe and stuff just wasn't going to happen. But his intention, he just wants to get away. He just wants a break. And even as adults can relate to that. Like, you work all the time, things are in your face, you need a vacation. So that's why he's looking forward to this trip. So he starts off in Venice, they go to Prague, they go to London. The villain is following them each place. Now, Peter feels the pressure from Nick Fury to become Spider-Man and help save the day. Mysterio, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, he's the one you want to keep your eye on. A lot of smoke and mirrors with him. Don't trust him. Marvel fans will know like what's going on with him, but I don't want to blow it up. But just keep your eye on Mysterio. Jake Gyllenhaal does a great job. This is him right here. I didn't put that poster up just because he's in this movie. That's one of my favorite movies, Donnie Darko. I was a little bit weird because I like seeing him more in the artsy type role, but it was cool seeing him in a blockbuster, I gotta say that. And so they end up in London in the end of the film. I don't want to go into too much detail here, but Peter's classmates are in peril, the ones who know that he is Spider-Man. At this point, I'm not spoiling anything when I say that MJ finds out that he's Spider-Man. Listen, you're going to be able to pick up on it. these kids are in the honor society. They're going to be able to pick up people's behavior based off Homecoming. He just randomly shows up at the tower. He's missing. He's always the one that isn't there when something happens. MJ picked up on it. So the people that are aware of it are Ned and MJ. Now, is Ned's girlfriend, is she aware of it? We don't really ever know that. Of course, Aunt May is, but she's back at home. We're not really concerned with her too much. And she's kind of a side character in the movie, even though Marissa Tomei does a great job playing her. So naturally, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, he's wanting to save his classmates, and he made a big mistake in this movie. He made a huge mistake, and he trusted someone he shouldn't have trusted. Now, this is something we all go through, and that's what I love about this character. He's just a good kid. He's just a good kid and wants to do the right thing. That's why I think Tom Holland is tremendous as Spider-Man. I don't want to get too far off the movie, but I feel like he's the perfect balance of Peter Parker and Spider-Man. He's nerdy, he's a little bit clunky, but he also has the charisma and energy to be Spider-Man. He's excited about it, and he just wants to do the right thing. Now, where I thought Tobey Maguire was a great Peter Parker, not so much Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield, the opposite, thought he was a great Spider-Man. Didn't quite buy him as Peter Parker. But Tom Holland did a great job. I'm usually hesitant when they always change the characters, but I'm glad that I opened up my mind and got into Tom Holland, because he's doing a great job with this role. Although he has been in the Infinity War, he's been through this Endgame, he's faced Thanos, he's faced one of the ultimate villains that's trying to destroy Earth. He went blow for blow in these crazy battles, yet he's still humbled, he's still nervous around girls. That's what I love about this character. He does such a great job. So I say that to say this, he always wants to do the right thing. And there's a great scene in this movie. One of my favorite scene is, it's almost like a dream sequence, but he's being set up by the illusions around him and things that aren't really there. It's a great scene. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. It's all things that he's thinking about in his head. He's thinking about Tony Stark. He's thinking about him as Spider-Man versus him as Peter Parker. He's thinking about MJ. Like, all he really wants to do is just be a kid. He wants to tell this girl his feelings. And he is just a nervous kid around her, despite the fact that she knows he's Spider-Man. He should have all the confidence in the world. He should be like, yeah, I'm Spider-Man. Like, how are you not going to like me? But he's still nervous around her, which makes him very relatable, at least in my sense. When I was in high school, I was a little bit nervous around girls. It took me till I got to college to break that ice. So it's relatable to see a character like that. So he goes blow for blow with the villain at the end. They do a great job with these fight scenes with the elemental character. The characters take on the water, the fire, the electricity. And in London, it takes place right at London Bridge. So I thought it was a great closing to the movie. Well done, well shot. I mean, the CGI is not perfect in spots. I'm a bit of a movie snob, so I kind of catch that stuff. It didn't throw me off because I was really enthralled with the story. I'm someone who questions things, and this movie is all about questioning the official story, questioning what you see. But I will say there is an after the credits scene, so stay after. Most Marvel fans know to do that, but just in case, being Endgame, there was not one. This one, there was one. Now, talking about the characters, I expressed how I felt about Tom Holland. He did a great job as Spider-Man. Spider-Man is great in this movie. I've really gotten into the character. When I was an Avengers, I've been an Avengers fan. I watched the cartoons. I never really read the comics, so that's my background. Incredible Hulk has always been my favorite Avenger. There's something about him. I'm kind of like him. I'm always either very cool or I'm angry. I'm either at going 10 miles per hour cruising, or I'm at 80. People around me will be able to tell you the same thing. But watching the MCU movies, I got into Thor a lot. His character is good. But like I said, Into the Spider-Verse I watched last year. That was one of my favorite movies of 2018. So that got me into Spider-Man. Even though that's the Miles Morales story, Peter Parker's in there as well. So it made me want to go back and watch all the Spider-Man movies. I've been really getting into the character, and I really like him. He's just a unique, cool guy. He gets knocked down. He's a regular guy. He's nerdy. I love Batman. He's still my all-time favorite, but only one person can be Batman and has access to all that stuff. I digress. MJ, we get to know her a lot better. She's very cool, kind of like she's kind of mysterious, and which is good. I like that. His friend Ned is perfect. He's just a nerd, wants to play video games, talk Star Wars. He gets a girlfriend during this movie. That relationship is a little bit funny and awkward. Happy Hogan, played by Jon Favreau, is flirting and talking to Marissa Tomei, who is Aunt May. So that's kind of funny. They keep it lighthearted. I really liked all that. Again, I love the way the movie was shot. Now I'm gonna get into Nick Fury. So let's just get into things I didn't like about the movie. And we're gonna start with Nick Fury. Samuel L. Jackson, great actor, so I'm not knocking him. I do not like the character of Nick Fury. He is bossy. He's trying to, like, this kid is a teenager, dude. Why are you trying to tell him what to do? Like, he should be making his own decisions. Why are you pushing him here, pushing him there? Like, and the thing is, like, you don't have any ability. You don't have any skills. All you rely on all these heroes. He relies on Mysterio. He relies on Spider-Man in this movie. He relies on all these people who are technologically advanced. He just has connections. He's just a guy who knows people. Like, I don't dig Nick Fury. Like, chill out, man. Like, they take it easy. It's not that serious. Things will work out. Oh, the world's gonna end. Like, why don't you do something, Nick? Where's your ability? No, he's just always there. He's just the guy they send in, and he always dies, but he doesn't die. Whatever. And the only other thing I didn't really like about this movie, and this is something I have had a problem with a lot of the MCU movies, is, and this one wasn't so bad, but there's spots where the humor is just, like the jokes are just so out of place. I mean, come on, please stop it. But I definitely recommend the movie. Check it out. If you love Marvel, definitely go see it. Or even if you're just looking for a nice weekend to go out with your kids, or if you are a kid, talk to your parents and then go seeing this movie. It's a great time. It's about 2 hours long, give or take, right in my wheelhouse. And a side note as well, I saw the Joker trailer I've been avoiding that trailer, but couldn't avoid it. It was right as soon as I sat down in my seat with my popcorn. Joker movie looks tremendous. I cannot wait till that comes out in October. That is a perfect movie for October. Joaquin Phoenix, Martin Scorsese as the producer. I mean, how can you go wrong? But yeah, check out Spider-Man Far Away From Home. Let me know if you want me to do a spoiler review on this movie. I feel like I can go in a little bit more in detail. If you'd like me to review Into the Spider-Verse, I would love to do that. But yeah, I plan on having these out on a regular basis. I'm gonna work on the setup here. I know it's pretty basic. I just got some posters that I had available in the house. I gotta go back to my childhood home, far away from home, to go get some of my old posters, put them up, work on a few things. But I was really excited about this movie. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Thank you for taking your time to see me. Be well.